Hello everyone and welcome to the next content update. We bring all the news from the community for July. Is it July this month?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. We don't have Ondrej here this time because he's summer on vacation. Apparently that's allowed for us.
That's a thing during summer.
We're still working, so it's very hot outside. Here it's a very nice air-conditioned office, so I think we're actually doing better than Ondrej. But anyway, I'm Ondrej, developer evangelist here at Kontent. Today I have here Dan. Dan, can you introduce yourself and what you do in Kontent?
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm the newest addition to Content Developer Relations team, and I came here to break the combo of Ondrej and Ondrej that we've grown accustomed to in previous sessions.
Right, yeah, we still like our Ondrejs.live logo, so we'll see if we like this format. Maybe we can do it all three of us next time.
Yeah.
And the next time, we actually aim to do these sessions live, or we might try if we're skilled enough to handle all the tech. So we're going to try to do these sessions live. It's going to be every first Monday of a month at 5 p.m. Central European time. I'm going to put this information down in the video description, but just so you know, we want to do these things live and hopefully take some questions or calls from the audience. We'll see. But let's talk about what's new in July. First, we're going to do the content update. Then we're going to do the code one, I think. So first thing is that June was a month of conferences. We've been at Content Talks in London. We've been at React Summit in Amsterdam.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was actually very nice. I always like Amsterdam. And we did Web Expo in Prague. We had workshops, we had presentations there, so recordings are available all down in the video description. If you did not get a chance to meet us, then at least take a look at the recordings. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, I did actually. I hope, hopefully I'll be present at the next one and to help you with the overload of people that were there.
There was a lot of people at React Summit at our booth, so definitely we could use an extra pair of hands. Now, what also happened is Andy Thompson, one of our MVPs, he published 2 awesome articles. One of them is about data sovereignty. He talks about, or he writes about how he handles communications with clients that are related to where their data are stored, because they are used to having everything stored on site in their servers. And now when it's time of microservices and cloud, people are actually a bit nervous about where their data are stored, and sometimes they have government requirements or law requirements where they need to store the data. So he talks in his article about that and describes how to tackle some of those issues.
Yeah, I believe the paradigm has shifted from like you mentioned, from the early days where everything was stored on site at on-premise on customer's own servers. Now, like you said, we have microservices-driven architecture, and most of our data are stored in the cloud. So he tackles the transition and how we may have to shift our mindset to accommodate this in practice.
Right. Now, you came from support, right? So did you get any questions about data sovereignty in the past? Is that something that people need to solve?
Yeah, certainly. Since we have data stored in the cloud, you also need to take into account government acts that may potentially affect the law in a given country, like if at what request the data need to be provided. So this is like the case. This is the case with the U.S., who have their own acts that protect data and actually require companies that store data, even though it's not in the U.S., to provide them on request as a part of their Cloud Act. So yeah, that's one of the questions we had actually in the support.
Nice. Very interesting topic, I think. Definitely take a look at the article. The link is down in the description of the video. And the next one is about handling online forms. Now, this is a big topic for any website that there ever is.
Certainly,
because this is usually the first thing that you need to solve. Because as opposed to a traditional CMS, the headless CMS is typically not a good fit to store form submissions. So he actually talks about what is the right place for it and compares some of the services. So I think that would also be a very common topic among the support questions, I assume.
Yeah, among the two most asked questions are translation services and forms. And like you said, how to tackle the approach in headless CMS, which is, like you said, not very friendly to actually storing the input from the users. But yeah, and Andy provides some options in the article, and we actually do have a readily available integrations in form of some custom elements in our own product. So yeah, certainly something that's tackled in the article and addressed.
Great. So if you haven't read it, then definitely check it out. And the last thing from the content update is right now we're looking a lot at conferences, because the React Summit was such a great experience. So more conferences are coming. We're gonna meet you in London in October for React Advanced. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, make sure to do that. We're gonna let you know in advance about places where you can meet us and talk about your projects. Now let's go to the code update.
Certainly, yeah. So what's on the topic for us?
So the first one, I think, is the Migration API version 1.
Yes, that was a long staple. I believe that this particular topic was already touched upon in the previous session with Ondrej. It's happening finally. As of 1st of July, version 1 of our management API will finally be deprecated. This is because it has been long in the shadow of its younger and more capable sibling in form of version 2. Which is now a backbone for all of our major SDKs, so there's not much reason for the version 1 to still be kept alive, because it's basically a subset of features of the version 2. So starting July, 1st of July, we will deprecate the API, and it will also start a 6-month grace period during which our customers should transfer to version 2 or to a newer SDK that supports it. And as always, if you have any trouble during the migration process, we urge you to reach out to us either on our Discord channel or directly the support. And our website actually mentions and provides a link to a migration guide, which will help you guide you along the way of the migration. So yeah.
I love these, because whenever I am on a certain version, it clearly outlines all the steps you need to take to get into the newer one. And the fact is that for the version 2, we already have the SDKs updated. Yeah, if you guys have any issues with migrating, then yeah, as Dan said, let us know. We'll try to help you. And that takes me to a React sample app. I know that there was a revamp of that because of the new features in the SDK.
Yeah, that was actually a long-term project of developer relations, which has recently been finalized. It was a joint operation of Ondrej and our new colleague and developer relations, Ivan. Initially, the goal was to transfer the application to version 2 of the SDK, but we also decided to rewrite the application into TypeScript and to better illustrate the core principles that you are going to encounter when developing an application with a headless CMS, such as data fetching, localization, mapping to components, and stuff like that. So all of that is now thoroughly explained, not only in the code itself, but also documented. So if you are planning a new React project, I certainly urge you to use the sample React application for inspiration.
I really like that, because as a developer, I like to discover things, but it takes a lot of time, and sometimes you hit a wrong turn and you have to go back. So if someone gives me best practices, I'm very happy to use them, because it just shows me how to do certain things, and I know that I will get the job done faster. Yeah, so this is really good, and I've heard very positive reactions on the documentation and on the readmes in GitHub and all those things. So you guys are at DevRel. You're doing a very great job in that sense. Yeah, so I really like those resources. And I think the last one is, and this is quite close to my heart because I'm originally a .NET developer. So I noticed that there were some discussions about new RFPs and new features of the SDK. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So what we try to suggest to all developers who are creating or thinking of creating a new application in Kontent is to always use strongly typed models when working with the content models in Kontent. For that matter, we actually provide a package to generate the models, which eases up the work considerably. But the package is currently built on the Deliver API endpoint, and the endpoint does not provide all the information that you can configure for individual elements in content. So this information couldn't be translated into the models, and this is especially the case with linked items, where you can set a set of constraints, such as like limit the linked items element to a particular subset of types, or limit it to only one. This would not be possible without including management API into the mix, and this is why we've submitted an RFP for that matter. The RFP tackles this by adding the management API support for the generator, and also illustrates several scenarios which are covered by the RFP. But it also introduces breaking change in form of the current models which are planned to be implementing an interface, which was not the case previously. So I urge everyone who could be affected or who works with generated models in .NET to check out the repository for the generator, and the RFP is actually thoroughly explained in the issues tab. Don't hesitate to share your input. We will welcome any feedback we can get, and don't hesitate to provide us with it.
So if you're using .NET, then reach out to the DevRel guys. They will definitely appreciate your input. And I think that's it for the code update. No, not yet. I have one last thing that I just remembered is that we have a new edition of the Developer Nation survey. And this time, it's not only the /data folks that are drawing prizes for the people that finish the survey, but we also have a specific content community prize draw, where we will have 3 swag boxes, including the hoodie that you're actually wearing right now. There are 4 $25 Amazon vouchers that will be also in the draw, only for content community members. So I don't know if you went through the survey, but if you want to win something, of course you already have the hoodie, but if you want to win something else, then you can also, if you go through the special link, the link is also down in the video description. If you go through that and finish the survey, then there is a pretty high chance of winning something. So
I'll make sure to check it out. Will it include the Wheel of Fortune that was presented the previous session?
No, not really.
Sadly.
But maybe we could do that. Interesting idea. Yeah, maybe we could do that for the draw. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll think about it.
All right.
But that's it. That's all for the July update. We hope you have a nice summer. We have some big news coming, but we can talk about those now. So stay tuned. Definitely subscribe to our newsletter and join our Discord. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.